Whether you're an av geek or just a regular person going on a trip, do you usually book tickets because they're cheap and you're just waiting for that sale during the time of the week to save as much money as possible? Or do you book tickets sometimes for luxury, for flying on the best airlines, having the best experience possible? Well, sometimes if you're trying to get a luxury experience or even cheap experience, you don't know what airline to go for because there are so many. However, companies like Skytrax actually rank airlines every single year, and it actually helps a lot of people choose what airline they will fly. In this episode, we will review Skytrax, but also talk about its controversies behind the scenes. As part of this new Av Geeks, Average Aviation Geeks series, if you guys want to learn about something or see us talk about something, you could just leave it right down in the comment section below. It's not that hard, just type whatever you think about the video. It would mean a lot to us, and of course you guys are the ones that dictate what will happen in our videos, and so commenting would be really helpful. And so before we start, just be sure to go down, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell by hitting that little bell next to the subscribe button. Be sure to stay till the end because you'll be able to hear our final opinions about Skytrax. Quick shout out to Newark Liberty International Airport Spotter for allowing us to use his plane spotting clips in our video. His channel and his Instagram account are both linked in the description. By the way, we have nothing against Skytrax. We are just getting all this information and all our insights from the internet, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. And without further ado, we will begin. We will begin with the Skytrax ratings for the airlines. So currently, Skytrax has 10 5-star airlines. So according to their ratings, they believe these are the top 10 airlines. So that's why there's only 10 of them. Most of these aren't very surprising, like ANA or Cathay Pacific or Japan Airlines, Lufthansa, Qatar, Singapore Airlines. These are all quite well known and very high elite airlines. They're very, very good. They're very positive reviews for these airlines, so I do believe they deserve to be in this 5-star list. However, many people criticize Skytrax for the airlines that are not in the 5 stars. Like for example, Emirates, which is like a 4-time best airline in the world, winner of their ranking system every year for like 4 years in the last 20 years, but somehow Emirates is not on 5-star list, and they don't really give a sufficient reason to why Emirates isn't on this list. People say that Emirates has some old fleet, but I mean, doesn't every airline have some old planes like that? So it's like not a really good reason, and so people kind of believe that some airlines are paying Skytrax behind the scenes to like either keep some airlines on the list or keep some airlines off the list. So that's controversy about that. But the 4-star airlines are obviously very good as well. It's kind of what you expect when you're looking at like hotels and stuff. The 4 or 5 stars are usually the better airlines. But there's also a ranking of like the top airlines in the world. For example, in like 2020, Qatar Airways won for the best. 2019, Qatar Airways won the best airline in the world, right ahead of Singapore Airlines. And the year before that, Singapore won. And so usually it's like Singapore, Qatar. You can throw Emirates in there for like the top airline in the world if they're all in that race. My creator will speak more on this.
So thank you, creator number 1. Hi, you guys, it's creator number 2 of the content that you guys love to watch. So yes, as he was saying, some airlines like Emirates do deserve to be number 5. Because, Emirates They're a very good airline. Their service, even though I've been on them one time, I've seen a lot of good reviews from a lot of other people, a lot of other fellow review channels, and I feel like maybe that Skytrax was a bit unfair in the ratings, and they gave some airlines the upper hand, and some airlines lower hand. Airlines such as Lufthansa should definitely be in the 4-star category because their service is mediocre and not that good. Their service is mediocre. The food is, quite frankly, meh. But sometimes Lufthansa, you know, it's like thinks and does something good, but not all the time. It's not a consistent per se, unlike in their servings.
Yeah, I'd
So,
I'd have to agree
creator
here.
number
Like,
one, back to you.
yeah, I'd clearly have to agree here. Um, these airlines like Qantas, British Airways, Air France, Lufthansa. I feel like these European airlines, they are very good. They're quite well known. They've been around for a long time, and but however, their like service, like my creator number two has said, is really like uncomparable to these Asian airlines, these Middle Eastern airlines, like Qatar, Singapore, ANA, Cathay Pacific, Emirates. Like they easily, I think, beat out these airlines. So I believe that those European airlines should be in 4-star, and actually you should bring airlines like Emirates and Etihad up to the 5-star.
Well said, creator number one. Oh, oh, just a quick little disclaimer. Creator number three was not present in the recording, so we won't hear much from him. So anyway, back to me, creator number two. I think Skytrax was a bit unfair, as I said before, in the ratings this year. They were some conspiracy theories believe that airlines actually bought, like Skytrax actually paid Skytrax to think that their airline was amazing, 5-star or whatnot this year, when they really weren't. So I will try my best to talk about this and talk about why would an airline want to pay Skytrax to say that their ratings are very good, much better than they actually are. So I think the reason airlines would want Skytrax would pay Skytrax to have the airlines rated better than they actually are is maybe just to increase publicity. You could say because Skytrax is a very visited website, especially for people who are deciding on what airline to go to, what airline to choose for their flight. So if the airline company can make a good impression on Skytrax, they can really increase the amount of passengers that they fly per day or per flight. So I think the reason they probably bought it is so that airlines can think, blank airline is super good. Maybe I'll try them, and then that made that they get more publicity. They get a better coverage. More people decide that looks like X airline is super good with this, and I'm looking especially for this. So I should just choose this airline for my next.
Yeah, I think that's very well put about this airline controversy that my creator number two has gone over. It's all part of their like marketing scheme. We could make this even simpler to you. Let's say companies that are um, quite well known, like but not completely well known, like not completely at the top of their class. If they get on such a popular and well known thing, like for example, you get on, I don't know, the New York Times newspaper, it'll obviously increase your popularity and help your marketing strategies very well. And so that's why like some airlines want to pay. And I definitely agree that that's something that's very bad. But it's kind of hard to control what happens behind the scenes. But however, now on to our next section. We will be looking at the airports that they rank and talk about every year. However, these airports unlike airlines, they I don't believe that they have like people paying them behind the scenes to like boost their ranking, because on Skytrax website they also talk about how these airport rankings, unlike the airline rankings, are actually done with a survey from like a lot of travelers all around the world. They all take a survey about each airline, and they like make a ranking based off of that. And so this year, there wasn't an airline ranking in 2020, but the airport ranking came out. The airport ranking for 2020, and so I don't think this is a huge surprise to Av Geeks, but Singapore Changi Airport came out as the top airport, and I couldn't disagree with this. They are just absolutely amazing. Their new Terminal 4 has like so many cool things to do. It is absolutely great for passenger experience, for like simplicity. They have many cool machines to make your travel so much easier. I think it's very well deserved, and I don't think there's actually a problem here, and it really helps like a lot of people kind of learn more about different airports and some cool things they might want to like check out when they were like visiting a city. When they're just going through an airport might not mean too much to someone, just like a place for someone to fly through, but when you make it really cool, like with many cool amenities and cool attractions in this airport, and Skytrax helps you market that out, I think it's really helpful for these airports, but also good to the people that read or like look at the rankings of Skytrax. And yeah, now on to my creator number 2.
Okay, thank you, creator number 1. I think airport ratings are much more complex compared to airline ratings, because in airline ratings, just like, okay, the delays here are this per year, and passengers are this happy with food and whatnot. It's pretty simple compared to airport ratings, because in airport ratings you need to take in multiple factors. First of all, you have to take in how many passengers does this airport serve annually, how well does the airport serve these passengers, which means how smoothly their baggage is, or how quickly the baggage is given to them. Like for example, for arrivals, how quickly do the passengers get their baggage, how smoothly they're able to transfer from Terminal A to Terminal B, and for example, for departures, how quickly the lines can go for like the boarding and for the luggage, and how well the services are present at the airport. For example, like services such as the meals, like shops, and all those. How many are those, and how clean they are, how effective they are, how kind the service is, and not only that, they also have to see how well do they serve the aircraft. Like, is their maintenance good? Do they serve the aircraft smoothly? Can they handle almost any aircraft? And and how well their maintenance team is. Because if they do maintenance here, it just shows how well that their maintenance team is, and that just helps the airport run more smoothly, because less time is spent doing maintenance. The aircraft has a less likely chance of sustaining high damage or whatsoever to the flight, and it's just overall smooth.
Yeah, I have to agree. There are so many factors being factored in an airport, and they're totally different than on an airline. And so now we will be concluding with our final thoughts about Skytrax. So before I really knew much about this controversy, when I first got into kind of knowing about Skytrax, I was like, oh wow, like this is absolutely amazing. Like this is really cool how they have like a ceremony every year that like they give out awards to different airlines for like best business class or best economy food or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's so cool for like app geeks like us who want to like really know which airline is really the best. And I think there is still a lot of truth in Skytrax's ratings, although there are some like minor faults, like we've mentioned before about some airlines maybe deserving 5 stars more than other airlines. But I still believe Skytrax is still a pretty decent indicator of good airlines and bad airlines, and I still think what they do is very cool, and like their airport rankings are completely true, I believe. So overall, I think Skytrax is still very good, and they're a quite trustworthy source for learning about like aviation industry and different airlines and different airports, and they go quite in depth. Actually, if you go on their website on like the reviews for each airline and airport, like the writers, they go quite in depth, so it helps you kind of choose, like for example, when there's 2 tickets or 3 tickets going on different airlines and transferring different airports, and like kind of how to choose. I think Skytrax can be a great help. And that concludes our video for today. If you enjoyed us average app geeks talk about Skytrax and its controversies, please go down, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and comment. Doing all that is completely free. It would help us so much. If you guys want sneak peeks into our future videos, please go to our Instagram at AeroAdventures and follow us. Signing off for now, stay safe and fly high.